There was something that I found on social media that I'd like to play for you guys.
Yeah, what's that?
So Puka Nacua, one of your favorite NFL players, set all these records. 6th-round draft pick, incredible story.
Yep.
Surely no one could have predicted this, right? However, the Rams put out social video on their channels that of a 6th-round pick of them kind of nailing how they would use Puka Nacua, and it's a cool little insight into how Snead and McVay work. Curious, your thoughts on this?
Where do you think BYU goes?
6th. I mean, the thing with BYU is he tested really poorly.
I think, man, he's got his Alec Ogletree in him. Couldn't test well, but can chase the rabbit. Alec could run, but he could never run a 40. But if you said go race, well, his speed is playing as fast. I've always said he's got. If I go sort by miles per hour, he would be one of the top receivers.
Like, I think this guy would be really good for us, Les. I want a guy that is going to be where he's supposed to be, that'll stay grounded through the catch, aggressive hands, that will dig out support in the run game, and then that we can also give him, he can be an extension of the run game.
Jeez, take the whole draft.
This guy can be a functional piece of an offensive operation.
He's a tough kid. To me, he showed, all right, there's a tenacity and a toughness and a fight, and if you teach him technique, he'll be able to. We know we got the guy you got a vision for. Totally. We're gonna nail that deal. Hey, Puka, what if we draft you with the 43rd pick here in the 5th round?
That would make my day great. That would be amazing.
It is.
That is so cool.
Stunning the way that we cover that sport so poorly because we never get to see stuff like that. And it's amazing when we finally see it because you're all like, oh, of course they saw it.
A draft lab.
Yeah, but they probably do that for every pick they make, and they don't all work out.
Right.
I'd like to see those as well.
That's what I want to see, the one for the shitty pick. Like, oh, this guy's a real game changer. I want a guy that can. I turned into Gruden there.
He's got a little bit of that in him. But, I mean, they called their shot. And no matter how many times they think they call their shot for a 6th-round draft pick, those are pretty random.
I'd love to see the Jets talking themselves into Sam Darnold.
Oh, but Mike, when you say called their shot, like one of the things that's super cool about what the playoffs are bringing now, because we haven't actually analyzed much of this, but Rams-Detroit thing, when you make it Goff versus Stafford and you make it McVay versus Campbell. I know we like the meathead in the Detroit story, but I do think we think of the Rams as smarter. I think if I ask you who's more smart, who's more football smart,
the Rams,
Dan Campbell or
Dan Campbell's pretty football smart when it comes to probabilities.
I know, but I'm talking about
Ben Johnson, his offensive coordinator, is like tabbed to be the next
McVay
guy.
told you that Goff wasn't his quarterback. It happened 13-3. He says, "Get out of here." Detroit says, and all of us said then, that's not going to work.
You're saying McVay looks smarter than Dan Campbell. And I would say, yes, you're right. He does. And most people would say the Rams are the smarter team. They would say the Lions are the tougher team. They would.
They would.
It's the chewing tobacco.
Yep.
Right. Dan Campbell's the old school behemoth, Neanderthal type coach who will run through a wall. And McVay is more of the new age analytics type.
I want to see what they said before they drafted Cam Akers.
His name is Cooper, good at running curls. But when his hammy got a tear, he saw Puka standing there, his blade diminished. Hostile take over. Nacua hopped into the car. McVay has maybe found a star. And then Matt Stafford threw him 25-2. Oh, there's a brand new kid in town out of BYU. They call him Puka. Puka Nacua. His quarterback is not named Tua. Yeah, he is Puka. Puka Nacua. Fantasy assassin, it's the time to cash in. Yeah, Puka. Don't need the glove. Don't need the glove.
Greg Cody really does fall in love with the sound of his own voice. I see it here every week. It is magical to watch. Yeah, the happiness that spreads over you. You've been
Well, that song does it to everyone.
but he was upset. He's been upset since the first time that we disrespected the back in my day, and I apologize to him.
Squash the beef. We're good.
Okay, but now he's happy again.